Hey guys, it's Stacey and today I'm here to do my August wrap-up. I read a total of 8 books this month, so I'm just going to go over them with you, and most of these books I did reviews on my book blog, so I will leave a link to that down below. It's easier for me to type out a review than it is to say it. That's just how it is for me, but I will leave that down below. It is on WordPress, so I'll just leave it down below if you want to go see what I thought about a lot of these books. But yeah, we're just gonna get right on into it. So the first book I finished in the month of August was House of Hades by Rick Riordan, and this is the 4th book in the Heroes of Olympus, and I gave this 4.5 stars. So far this is my favorite book in this series. A lot happened. There were some slow points, but I think they were good slow points, where they were build-up points to different parts of the book. But it was amazing. I loved it. We learned about Nico in this book, and that makes me so happy. Nico is one of my favorite characters of all time, and I love this series. If you have not read the Percy Jackson series, read that, and then you can read this. It's worth it. It's amazing. So the next book I got this month, I actually forgot to haul this month, so I put it in my collective book haul, but it is All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, 4.5 stars. It's amazing. It's the 3rd book in the Natural series, which is a psychological thriller type crime novel. It is Criminal Minds meets YA, and it is amazing. And Jennifer Lynn Barnes has a PhD in criminology, I think, or psychology, so these are so well written. They're super fast paced. They're really easy to fly through. I've pretty much read each book in a day, so definitely go check this series out if you have not read it. So yeah. And the next book I read is The Retribution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkins. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This is the final book in the Mara Dyer trilogy. This trilogy is amazing. It pulls at your heartstrings. It's creepy. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. You never know what's going to happen, and I adored this last installment. It's not my favorite book in this series, probably my 2nd favorite book, but it wasn't as big as a disappointment as people kept saying it was. I don't know. But this series is definitely worth reading. If you have not read it, go read it. It's creepy, it's amazing, and you'll love Noah Shaw. The next book I read was Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars. I really liked Steelheart. Brandon Sanderson's writing is he's one of the best known authors on BookTube. This is one of his lesser known series, but still pretty popular. And I did not enjoy this as much as I enjoyed the first one. I think this one, the main character is caught up in this infatuation with this girl, and that really bothered me. That's what this whole plot centered around, and I could not stand it. So there was a potential romance. There could have been a romance with somebody else that would have been really better, romance plot point, but that's besides the point. But I still recommend this series if you have not read it. So yeah. The next book I read was Asylum by Madeline Rocks. I gave this 2.5 stars. This is one of my reviews that I actually went lengthy rant on, but this book is a lot like Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, but this boy named Daniel goes to this special prep college program at this mental asylum. That's where he has to sleep, and he starts having these nightmares, and he makes some friends, and they go into this part of the asylum where things start happening, and it just goes from there. And this was very plot driven, and I'm a character driven reader, and there was little to no character development throughout this book. There was only a little bit at the very end, and that's what's going to keep me buying and reading these books. But the plot is very, very interesting, and I loved it, but it was the characters that made me give this 2 stars. It was just, I wanted more from these characters. I wanted them to be more depth. They were kind of just flat. And the main character was really needy and pushy, and he peer pressured his friends into doing stuff, and didn't like that. But I will be continuing on with this series. So yeah. The next book I read was Winter by Marissa Meyer. I gave this 4.5 stars. I love this book. I love this book as a whole by itself, and I love the rest of the series. I do plan on rereading the series eventually in the future, but this book was 10 times better than the rest of the series. I loved it. Just amazing. Everybody knows what the Lunar Chronicles is about, but I love this book so much. It's beautiful, beautiful. The next book I read was The Angel Experiment by James Patterson. I also forgot to haul this book, but I will haul it in my next one. Maybe, who knows. But I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I expected a lot more from this book than I got. It was very cheesy and like one-dimensional and all that, and like these characters have like problems. Like they're on this mission to save this little girl, but they get distracted with their own needs. And I know characters can't be fully selfless, but I had some problems. But I did really enjoy the characters, and I'm excited to continue on with this series. But I hope they get better as the books go on. Like I have very mixed feelings about this book. And the last book I read this month, probably my favorite this month, is Night Embrace by Sherilyn Kenyon. I gave this 4 stars. Oh my god. This book, Talon, is my favorite so far. Like, I thought I loved Kyron, but nope, I love Talon the most. Talon's the best. He's so amazing. Just second book in the Dark Country series. There'll be a review for the first book and this book soon. I'll be doing a combined review just on my thoughts and comparing and whatnot. But this book was so good. Oh my god, I loved it so much. Sherilyn Kenyon is my favorite author of all time. Just, you can never go wrong with a Sherilyn Kenyon book. She's amazing. She is my queen. This book was life. Talon. So those are all the books that I've read this month. Comment what you've read this month and if you've read any of these. And so yeah, we'll see you guys in another video. So yeah.